Okay, so to prepare your eggplant, you need about 4 medium-sized ones. Simply just cut the stalk bit off, cut them in half, and then we're just going to scoop this middle bit out, leaving about 1.5 to 2 centimetre shell. So you need to scoop out the middle reserve part of the eggplant. So I just use a spoon and scrape that out. We're going to boil both individually. Same with this, and then the other half. You just make the line of where you want to, leaving about a 1.5 to 2 centimetre shell, and I just scrape that inside out. Just peel that back, and I just scrape a little bit more out. Don't want it too thick because it'll take a while. Oh, there we go. And do that with the rest of them. Place the reserved flesh of the eggplant in a large pot filled with water and add a good pinch of sea salt. Stir this through and allow to boil for about 10 to 14 minutes until it's cooked through. It will reduce a lot and be very mushy. This has been cooking for about 10 minutes and it's starting to soften. You can see some of that middle bit starting to soften. I'm going to give it a couple more minutes, maybe another 4 minutes, because there's still some chunkier bits that need to be cooked a little bit longer. Okay, so this has boiled away and has cooked through. So using a slotted spoon, I'm going to take this out and drain it well and let it cool slightly before we mash it. So we've kept the same water that we boiled the inside of the eggplant with, because now we're going to boil the shells. So pop the shells in. Doesn't matter that there's bits left over, put them all in, and we're going to boil those. You may need to add a little bit more water. I'm going to boil those now for another 10 minutes or so until they too soften. Okay, so in a medium-sized pan, put your chopped onion in. We're just frying these off a little bit before we add them to our mixture. So put in your onions first and just cook till they're translucent. Okay, so we're just adding the garlic. Just going to stir this a little bit. The onions are becoming translucent. Just want to fry the garlic bit. We're just going to keep stirring it and watching it because we don't want to burn the garlic. We just want to cook these a little bit and cool them down a bit before we add them to our meat mixture. Okay, so these eggplant shells are ready to be drained. They've cooked through a bit and they've still maintained their shape. So I'm just going to sit them on a prepared plate with paper towel. So we have a bowl with 500 grams of mince meat, that's beef. We're now going to add the onion and the garlic that we fried off and that's cooled down. That's 1 brown onion and 2 to 3 chopped garlic. I've added 3 garlics because I love them. Then we're going to add, this is 2 cups or 220 grams of breadcrumbs, and I've toasted some of my own bread and processed that up. Then I'm going to add a cup of chopped parsley. Add that to it. I've got 80 grams of pecorino cheese grated. And then the middle of the eggplant that we scooped out and we cooked, this is drained and mashed up, so we're adding all of that bit in there as well. Good pinch of salt and pepper. And then 2 eggs that I've just lightly beaten, put that in there. And now we're just going to mix that all around. Now you don't want it too wet and you don't want it too dry. So once it's all combined together, assess whether you need to add more stuff to it. Okay, so I'm actually going to add just a little bit of water to that, just because it is a little bit dry. So I'm just going to add a little bit of water. So I'm just adding a little bit of water. And that feels a little bit more moist, which is what I want. So that's fine. I'm going to now stuff the eggplants with it. So the shells have cooled down a little bit. Just going to put some of the mince in each one. There we go, just like that. Pat it down, make sure that it's in there. And do the rest with the other ones. Just fill it with a bit of the mince and pat it down to make sure that it is in there. So now we're just heating up the pan with a bit of oil. You want to shallow fry both sides of the eggplants, so that's quite hot. So I start with the meat side and just fry that on each side. Do them in batches. And let that brown on each side for about 2 to 3 minutes. Okay, so that's doing really well. It's browning on the meat side, so just flip it over. Just want to brown each side for about 2 to 3 minutes. Okay, so I'm just going to transfer those over to my oven tool stick and fry up the other ones. Okay, so there are all the stuffed eggplants filled. Just going to pour the tomato salsa di pomodoro sauce, pasta sauce, sugo over the top. I'm going to spread that a bit with this spoon. You want to cover that all up, and now I'm going to sprinkle some more of that pecorino grated cheese.
I love cheese, Mommy.
I know you do, Freya.
Can I try?
Sure. So sprinkle that all over the top, and make sure your oven is preheated at 200 degrees.
Can I try?
Okay, that's come out of the oven. It's been cooking for 40 minutes and it's ready to serve. You can serve it with a side of salad or green beans or any kind of vegetables you'd like.